Enter into a new dimension of gaming and unlock your gaming experience. Powerful and portable, with uncompromised graphics performance. The way you play will never be the same.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 2 of the XP Esports Super Day. My name is Blue Panda. Joining me on the mic is Cthulhu for the XP Esports Women's League. Cthulhu, we're coming in to play day 2 here of Season 5. We've had some teams establish themselves as frontrunners. We got to middle of the pack. 4 teams currently sitting 1-1 at the moment. There is a lot that could come out of today.
Indeed, yeah. Look, today is probably going to be the day of the mix-ups on the leaderboard, and to say at the very least, I am excited as heck to see some upsets, some spicy games, and some close matches to really happen, because look, we just came off a very spicy ending for High School League, which was a flawless run, and look here, I think it is definitely going to be a much difficult challenge to make that happen again. But look, I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to be seeing some close, some very not close matchups, but overall keen as a bean.
Well, I mean, look, why don't we have a cheeky sneak peek at the format, how we're running things here in this season of the XP Esports Women's League. It is a double round-robin group stage, 7 weeks of competition where each team plays 2 matches a night. Then from there, we make it into the playoffs. 4 teams make it through to the semi-finals. Then from there, top 2 teams get to play off for the grand finals. Bottom 2 teams in that playoff bracket go for the 3rd place match. For the first time in a good long time, we don't have a defending champion this season.
Yeah, look, not even with even that said, even the runners-up, the Nocturnal roster has also disappeared and dissipated into some of the other rosters. So honestly, yeah, this is the new beginnings, I suppose, for us, for Women's League, for some of those teams, and for some of the players that have been introduced to the rosters as well. But look, honestly, all of them have very capable players. This time, I definitely think that this season is going to be one of the more competitive ones, and the teams are definitely feeling a whole lot more balanced between each other.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some interesting stuff play day 1. So play day 1, we saw rounds 1 and 2 played out. Tonight, we've got rounds 3 and 4. And the teams that are playing today, we'll have another look at them. There are 8 teams in this competition, some big names on some of those teams. At the moment, we do see Quacked and Viking Army taking up first place, both having picked up 2 points in the first week. So there's a lot of high-level competition coming in this season.
Oh yeah, 100%. Look, even some of the newer players, some of the returning players into the community are making a comeback, even with tonight's matches that are being streamed on the main channel, and I believe even on the second channel. Honestly, yeah. Look, even the introduction of a roster of Silex Angels have been definitely an interesting addition to Women's League, and curious to follow their path as well.
Well, taking a look at the standings is going to give us an indicator of just how much rides on tonight. Obviously, week 1, we saw 2 matches played per team. That means there was a number of points that could be accumulated. Quack there and Viking Army both picked up 2 wins in the first play day of Season 5. Rans, Skyfire, Radical Rebels, and Fallen Angels went 1-1 in the night, and Silex Angels and Grumpy Grapes, unfortunately, were unable to get themselves on the leaderboard so far, but tonight is their night. This is their chance, and unfortunately for one of these teams, they are going to have to take a loss because it is going to be our first matchup of the night. The schedule here for week 2, game 1 for the main channel is going to be Silex Angels versus Grumpy Grapes, but there's some other very interesting matches in round 1 to see tonight.
Of course, yeah, look, some of these matches, even stuff like Ren Skyfire should be an interesting one. Quacked versus Silex Angels definitely going to be a little bit lopsided, but the rest of the streams and the rest of the games, I definitely think that all of them will go pretty much the full distance. Rens versus Radical Rebels should be a very curious one, given the fact that both of the teams are sitting on, I believe, the similar scoreline, but we'll have to see if that is the case here, because look, honestly, both teams deserve to be at the top of the leaderboard. For Grumpy Grapes versus Silex Angels, look, yeah, like you've probably said it the best way. Really, one of those teams will unfortunately have to cop an L, but I definitely think that both teams will take us to a full set of regular rounds.
It's an interesting round 1 tonight. So you've got all the teams that are playing around one are sitting even on the scoreboard. So Quack, Viking, and Viking Army both sitting 2-0 tonight. At the moment, you've got Grumpy Grapes versus Alex. Both of them are 0-2, and then Ren's Radicals, Fallen Angels, and Skyfire are all 1-1 at the moment. But the big thing you can already see, Silex Angels, they've got a very rough night. So this is their first chance to get some points on the board, having lost in week 1. They're against Grumpy Grapes, who have also lost both their matches. And then in round 2 of the night, they have to verse up against Quack, who are currently tied for top place. So there's a lot that could go wrong for them, but there's also a lot that could go right. But our matches tonight, definitely interesting ones here on the main channel. Silex Angels versus Grumpy Grapes, and then I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's Wrens versus Skyfire that are going to be taking the stage in the second round of the night. But there is we could quite easily see one team, Quacked or Viking Army, break away from the pack off a couple of big wins tonight.
Yeah, look, I definitely think that Quacked might have actually a really solid chance here, given the fact that they've had a solid performance. They've managed to keep themselves stable, and overall roster of Quacked is looking really good. But whilst we had quite a fair bit of time to really theory craft about all these matchups, let's actually have a look at the actual match at hand. It is going to be Silex Angels versus Grumpy Grapes. Now, like we mentioned before, the battle of the two teams that are currently at the bottom of the leaderboard, but one might just be able to fix that up for themselves and see themselves skyrocket to the higher ends of the leaderboards. But we might be seeing some interesting turn of events, because for Silex Angels as well, there's going to be a few players that will be coming in as well that haven't really seen the competitive play for a long while, and will be relatively fresh introductions. But honestly, I still think that fresh blood should be able to show us some really cool performances.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. You got Grumpy Grapes. They've only had the one real change from last season. That is obviously Novawick being moved to the sub role, Sazza coming into the main roster, whereas the rest of the team largely the same. In this Silex roster, some fresh blood, like you said, but also one that has a bit of a bit of support to it.
Yeah, look, we'll definitely need to see. Let's actually move ourselves over to the rosters as well, get ourselves familiarized with the players that are jamming it out today, because look, some familiar names going to be popping up between both of the rosters. We don't have rosters, pardon me. But yeah, look, in regards to actually Novawick, she is actually in lobby today for Grumpy Grapes, so we might be seeing some of the older iterations of Grumpy Grapes. On the side of Silex Angels, it's Oats, Dr. Gamer Girl, Andromeda, Setsky, and Peachy going to be coming over. It is going to be Cafe Dostoyevsky coming right up. As a matter of fact, let's have a look at the map bans, because those were also relatively interesting. Villa and Consulate did get banned out straight away. Chalet, Clubhouse, Coastline, and Oregon then followed suit. And with Cafe, it is going to be, I believe, let me have a quick peek. It is going to be a defense beginning for Silex Angels on Cafe Dostoyevsky, which then we'll see, should we go to OT, Grumpy Grapes will get to start on the defense during OT. So should be a relatively close game if we do go into the OT. We're just gonna check up on the teams if they are ready to roll and ready to rumble. But look, any thoughts before we are going to be transitioning into the map video?
I mean, it's Cafe Dostoyevsky. It's, again, one of the staples of the competitive map pool. It's almost fallen out of fashion, though, at the moment with the big three. You know, you look in Oregon, Clubhouse, and probably floating between Coastline and Chalet with most competitive environments at the moment. But look, we're going to Cafe. Let's have a deep dive, a bit of a fly through of this map. The Russian one coming through. The Russian moon map, if you're a Sledge main playing on those roof hatches, the gravity just doesn't seem to exist. But look, coming into this, the defensive advantage coming into the first half is something you're going to be looking to exploit. A lot of teams love the defense here on Cafe. You can look to pick up some big rounds if you're playing it correctly. But it's a case of who has the most prep coming into this map that could turn the tide.
100%. Look, ban phase is upon us. Silex Angels get to ban first, and obviously, well, we do see Thatcher back onto the bench straight away. the stream not yet seeing it just yet, so we are going to be narrating it regardless of the outcome. Grumpy Grapes are going to be the next ones to see the ban for themselves, and yeah, look.
Well, it's going to be Jackal. So the Spaniard double ban could be coming through. Obviously, you got to remember, North Star coming through means that this new Flores is going to be available, or the changes that have been made. There's a lot that could come into the play this week. Obviously, the changes to, muzzle attachments, all the rest of it, spray patterns have to be relearned and redoubled down on. So definitely keen to see how this plays out. Valkyrie, no surprises, honestly, that Grumpy Grapes are taking this off the board. Probably one of the most influential defenders on this map. Yeah,
that's definitely one of the ways to really call it. Valkyrie has a huge amount of potential to hide her cameras all over Cafe Dostoyevsky, so it definitely does make sense to close out the ban phase, though. It is going to be Mira to finish it up. The double Spaniards ban once again going to be seen here, although I definitely think that the value of Mira has been falling off gradually ever since the introduction of some of the newer operators, including even the Flores, and the introduction of the changes to the mirrors and the bulletproof utility where you can punch them and crack the window. It definitely feels like it's more so just now kind of a remnant of the old meta per se.
Well, look, I personally love to play Flores on the roof on this third floor bomb site, because basically those Rotera drones become artillery strikes through the skylight, because you just jump, activate them, and you can't destroy those things. Whoever's dumb enough to get caught in them is going to have a bad time, but then I play in casual a lot, so it's probably not something that these girls are going to be caught out by.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could use it to open up the floor to then later use it for vertical play in a post-plan situation, but look, there are a few ways that I still think
far too big brain for me.
Yeah, look, we're still yet to fully discover the full possibility of Flores' drones and how the synergy works out in the future runs. I gotta say, by the way, out far, like if you zoom out on the Nomad's icon, it honestly looks like a recolored Ninjas in Pajamas new logo.
A little bit, yeah. It's the new UI updates have made some interesting stuff in the spec. My favorite bit, though, is you can now see what people are doing after they've died. So you can see which teammates are not actively contributing and are just sitting there watching one of their teammates. It makes for an interesting time and gives you a good indicator of what they're prioritizing in terms of cameras, in terms of drones, in terms of that utility. So at the moment, last minute setup coming out here from Silex. They're going for that aggressive backstock hold. Interesting shield placement.
Yeah, shield placement is definitely one of the curious ones. I'm assuming that's more so being kind of used as a stationary, maybe a stationary smoke kind of canister to deny a certain push, but yeah, it's definitely has me a little bit curious about the choices. But for the time being, GG. They've just very diligently drawn it out, make sure that they know.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure about that one, but it is what it is. Setsuki's positioning questionable as it was. Look, we're still going in. I honestly don't know what to make of that. That was interesting. It was bold. It hasn't done much for the team, but we're a minute in. They've slowed things down. Even it feels like Grumpy Grapes are a little hesitant at the moment to push in because they don't quite know what's going to be going on. Aggressive positioning for the most part. Round thrown by Yoshi in towards Washroom to open things up. Andromeda steps up, might have found an angle there under the window. They know that's where the Ash is repelling, but still no ground given, no angles being taken just yet.
Not at all, yeah, look. Right now it's a very slow game. Not much of the entry has been done, not even a drop down through the hatch, and that's still yet to be contested. Yoshi a little bit stumped now that she doesn't have really any utility, minus maybe her drone to throw out, but even then, it's probably a little bit too of an expensive
A bomb has been located.
usage for the utility. I believe Novelweek might just run into a bit of an issue with the breach, but no, okay, it works out perfectly fine. So we do have an entry at the very least.
Oh, Yoshi and the elbow was there
Oh, boy.
to be spotted here as well. It's going to be a bit of a whiff, and Oates finds up the opener, but the trade is there. Dr. Gamewheel falls, Andromeda and Oates in a bit of trouble right now. Novelweek just steps out, finds the frag. The power sub coming into play already. Cass taking control of New Balk, spots the player far across the gap and takes down Peach as well, spots the pixel in the head and backstock. Cass is just on an absolute rampage right now.
Yeah, look, Cass channeling all the fragging power really needed, being the Zafia main of the team, tries to maybe even go for a quad, even an ace, but no, that won't be the case at the end. It is the frag out by, I believe, that was Toki or Yoshi?
The entire
But
team sort of stepped up and
Entire
went
team
big there.
actually, yeah, popped off. Yeah, true. But yeah, look, here we are. Round number 1 concluded just like that. Grumpy Grapes managed to really organize themselves really well. Like, there's not really much to dissect there, given the fact that Alex Angels had a few questionable utility setups. I'll say that. I shouldn't be really laughing, but yeah, look,
it was. I'm not sure what the intention was. Yeah. Maybe it was to bait them into some over aggression. I mean, one, if nothing else, it gave away the intention of the push through Cigar Lounge. But I mean, it's a map like Cafe. It's pretty much a given that that's their avenue of getting in. But look, we're going into round 2. They're looking to get themselves downstairs, first floor, bomb site hold. We have the Whammy, we have the Frost, which again has been seeing a lot more play in competitive, so Oates sticking with that one 2 rounds in a row.
Definitely. Look, I mean, Frost shown us previously how impactful it can be to just turn around some of those 1vx games and 1vx clutches, so honestly wouldn't put it past that.
10 seconds
So
left.
might be the play, might be the game. Interestingly enough, well,
5 seconds to
the
go.
Goyo has now been swapped out for something a little bit probably more effective
Attacker's
to
objective is
deny
to
certain
defuse a
utility.
bomb.
We do see the introduction of Womai by Andromeda, so no more Aruni as well, and some late reinforcements, so maybe a quick pre-fire could be actually the end here to the mute player of Dr. Gamer Girl.
Well, last minute reinforcements, again, playing it very, very close to the wall here, Silex, literally, in fact, with that last minute reinforcement, but not enough information for Grumpy Grapes to turn that into a frag. But for now, this off-site presence is the key barrier between Grumpy Grapes and the bomb site. Peachy all the way upstairs on Cocktail, but you got Setsuki playing below towards reading. So there is a lot of off-site investment here for the defense.
Indeed. A much more coordinated decision to just drone out altogether, and a double drop down by Cass and Yoshi. We'll be seeing them make an entry into the piano room and the new balcony, so we are going to be seeing a little bit of new... Oh, but the racing, Cass. Putting in the time into the prep for that, but flank around from behind, we'll be seeing Peachy out of the equation. So a solid take up top. No more contention apart from Setsuki at the reading, where she might just be able to actually score a frag if she won't be droned out too well, and, well, instead just decides to pre-fire a drone.
Just going to play it smart, clear that information. Setsuki spots one, goes for the spray, but does retreat and impact through the wall from Laundry, and Yoshi picks up a double for the round. The 2 entries here for Grumpy Grapes, teaming up to pick some big frags. Now they start on that vertical pressure. Going to start opening the floor above Freezer, above this kitchen bomb site. Breaching charge is there. Well, there is a sledge in play. Sorry, Cheese is the one on the job. But for now, I mean, you've got players there already. Start the work up. Let Sledge come in later and enable that push. But you could feel Silex very much struggling in the start of second round.
Yeah, definitely maybe a few coordination issues out here. The fact that Setsuki is able to really help the Jaeger during that push definitely raises a few question marks here. And Oates right now in a very difficult position. Not much to be really to hide from. And, well, the only thing that really saves her is that small bit of the indestructible floor, but I don't think that will be an issue anytime soon. Cass about to go in for a swing. He does see the legs for the pre-fire. Oh, there's the shot.
Cass just able to find the sliver, the angle that was needed to take down the Frost once again, and Grumpy Grapes, they're on the hunt through these vertical angles. The drop down the hatch. Yoshi just straight in from Freezer. Finds Gamer Girl as well. And it's left in the hands of Andromeda. 15 seconds left on the clock to plant. Coming down, unfortunately, the bomb chassis just going to give them too much security. Yoshi with a massive quad round is going to be able to pick up the flawless for the Grumpy Grapes.
There we go. Grumpy Grapes coming in huge for their matchup today. Already on that 2-point lead over Silex Angels. Definitely looking very solid overall. Managing to just keep up the momentum. They had a bit of a slow start on round number 1, but the moment round number 2 happened, you could see the extra that extra amount of confidence in their swings, in their pushes, a much quicker execution as well. The double push by Zafia and Ash, I definitely like that. I like the ability that they were able to continuously contest multiple angles together, able to have that refrag ability, and in all of those situations that transpired throughout round 2, it definitely looked like they were very much in control of their pacing rather than letting the defense kind of control that and slow them down.
I mean, this is exactly what you're expecting from a team like Grumpy Grapes, with only the one change and Nova being back in as the sub this round. Anyway, they just have that familiarity, they have that trust in each other, and we can see rounds like that where Cass and Yoshi push in together and just go absolutely massive, locking down the site almost single-handedly, getting control of the second floor. I mean, they took third floor control, sorry. They then pushed down to second, dealt with Setsuki, who was rotating around reading. They then get the vertical control. They then get the hatch open with the help of Nowick. They then drop in. Yoshi just absolutely blows the site wide open, and then Cass is there to help support.
Yeah, it was just like that, like a snap of the fingers, really managed to pick it apart. But for Silex Angels, I mean, they're still giving us a valiant effort overall, managing to show us a few decent setups, but just still yet to learn a few of the plays, figure out the pacing of their opponents, because so far, I mean, can't really blame them. Grumpy Grapes first round went a very passive game, and well, rightfully so. Silex Angels probably would have expected a very slow approach. This time though, in round number 2, it was a much more aggressive one, and for now, for round number 3, Silex Angels are left kind of thinking, well, what's going to happen this time?
Yeah, I have to 100% believe that this is Grumpy Grapes coming in after last week. They got 7-1'd in the first round by Skyfire Female. They then got 7-4'd by Viking Army in the second round of the night. So they're definitely coming in with some real passion. Yoshi takes the gunfight against Peachy upstairs as well. Had no right to win it and does it anyway.
Exactly, yeah, just like that, completely yoinked away any kind of chances, although she is left very much tagged up, so that could be a bit of an issue. But right now, still on the hunt, being live droned, it is just an amazing coordination here, gotta say. And for Grumpy Grapes right now, they're well on the way for a dub. They're completely unaware that Sitsuki is still around the area and will be able to find a frag, but only to get a refrag by Yoshi. Just like that, Panda. 2v4 in a matter of just a one clean sweep on the top floor.
The coordination is starting to get a little bit scary here for Grumpy Grapes.
The way
they're not taking these solo gunfights. Everything is with the potential for a refrag. They take a fight, someone is there just in case they die. And Yoshi, yeah, did watch Cheese fall, but was there a moment later. Andromeda, though, is going to be the one to take it this time. It's kind of hard to play for the trades around the stairwells. But Toki there looking, trying to find the head as Andromeda sneaks up. Spotted it. Oh, just snapped to the head. Grumpy Grapes are on an acceleration course that could see them spiral out of control.
Exactly. Look, right now, although Cass will be trying to get into the engagement, will be actually winning it out against Dr. Gamer Girl, but that was one of the first few times when it was actually a single person pushing up by Grumpy Grapes. But gotta say, their improvement ever since last season is a phenomenal one, just to say at the very least, because their issue back then was that exact thing, just pushing solo and dying to some of those gunfights. Now that they are finally, they've put in the practice, they've put in the effort, they now showing that they are able to go in squads of 2, clear out certain positions. In case one dies, one and the other will be able to refrag it, and it is an absolute pleasure to watch them do that. Whereas on the side of Silex Angels, they're at the position where I feel Grumpy Grapes were back in last season, where it's a relatively fresh squad, still trying to kind of figure out how to go about certain plays, how to go about certain setups. Plus the fact that I do believe that Salix Angel's been bringing some of the different players previously as well, so that uncertainty of not having a well-set squad is also coming into play here, I feel.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bordy is a bit busy tonight, so they had to get Dr. Gamer Girl into cover. Bringing in that last-minute substitution is always going to upset the flow of a team, but look, it's still in the first half. They can still look to bring it back here. They are doubling down with this Frost, and once again, we are seeing these same Goyo setups. Okay,
this
time,
one now makes sense.
The Pixel one is around the right way. I think this one is to just deter anyone who pushes into backstop.
That's probably what it is, but yeah, okay, finally we do see some openings, so finally at the very least somebody from the cocktail lounge will be able to trigger it, I believe. But yeah, look, it's definitely has me still a bit puzzled, but at the very least some changes have been made, so at the very least it won't be as obvious or as easy to clear out, although Dr. Gamer Girl, oh boy, oh lordy, about to be in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, they are very aware of just a breachy ground, and she's going to escape, so look, hey, it's utility wasted, gets herself out of there. Unfortunately, I'm having some screen issues. I can't see what's going on right now.
Uh-oh. Well, I'll narrate this whole game for you so far. Oates is currently still playing in the pixel angle and about to get pushed. Dr. Gamer Girl managed to actually escape all the way to the cigar stage, so there is still a possibility for a crossfire, and nobody out of Grumpy Grapes is yet knowledgeable about that spot. The Goyo shield has been detonated, and so no longer the position of Oates is safe, so she does promptly fall back to the bathrooms position. Dr. Gamer Girl is still in the play though.
Oh my lord, I don't know, I think it's my new fridge sitting next to me of indeterminate origin. Every now and then it does like to mess with my power and the screen cuts out. But look here, second half of round 4, still 10 players left alive, all 10 women ready and keen to find these gunfights. Still players at backstock. These drones, though, are going to prove a bit of a nuisance. Gamer Girl does shoot it out eventually. They will also get the rotation in towards backstop. Into Cigar. Oh, my lord. Yoshi is just on an absolute whip right now. 7-1 and 2, looking for even more. This time doesn't go down to the player and catches out a mute with a big amount of explosive utility.
Yeah, with Dr. Gamer Girl now out of the equation, that's the full control. Oh, not anymore. Control of the cigar lounge was there. Grumpy Cass is able to at the very least get another refrag. Needs to be very wary of the position of the bathrooms, but Peachy is there to shut her out. All of a sudden, all of that advantage that was gained, though, slightly started fading away. Setsuki to find Toki as well. It's all down to Novawick and Grumpy Cheese.
Cheese is pushing through Cigar. You can see on the back side over towards Cocktail. Peachy is rotating towards White Stairs, and Oates still entrenched in washroom at the moment. If a frag grenade was to thread the needle through that white corridor door, Cheese is just going to walk around, find the frag, gets the det onto the Vulcan shield, but Peachy swings at the right time, so the repositioning very much paying off with him. Still playing around Cocktail Balcony with Setsuki as well, rotating up through Red Stairs. Novawick only has 2 seconds left to play, so we'll go for that defuser plant. Setsuki on the run, trying to get the stop. Plant will go down. She will have a chance to contest, but runs straight into Peachy. It's a crossfire, an inevitable gunfight that will go the way of Salix, who get their first round on the board.
There we go, yeah. It didn't take too long, really, to start making a comeback here. Still 2 rounds to go, and 2 more chances for Salix Angels to equalize the scoreline. Still 2 rounds differential, and look, this was a much better execution by Salix Angels. They managed to slow down the push substantially, and the fact that Cass and Yoshi went down relatively early in all of those gunfights did definitely mess with the momentum of Grumpy Grapes. And this is something that popped up as a secondary issue later on in the previous seasons. Okay.
Okay. I think
Cass
that
just
might
flat
be.
out calls it out.
Yeah, I think she's predicting the lack of a six-pick. So actually, we respect that you got it. And, well, we go into the round, and yeah, no changes whatsoever. Yoshi, unfortunately, just apologizing for a teammate here. But Yoshi and Kaz have been playing this entry duo role kind of crazily. They are combined 13 frags deep with only 4 deaths. So this entry duo is probably one of the most potent we could see this season.
100%, yeah, I'll definitely agree. Yoshi and Kaz been having that phenomenal chemistry between the two of them. And they were able to play into it really well. The fact that the rest of the team is able to support them with the drones, with the information, certainly has played really well into the way how they frag out and able to keep themselves running. Might be seeing a little more vertical presence now from Salix Angels. They've realized how potent it is to have some presence up above. They've doubled down a little bit more on the reinforcements as well, having now the Jaeger device and a mute device on the entrance to the cocktail lounge, as well as that having the vigil playing around the freezer area by Setsuki. This is looking very solid.
You can't make bullet holes in the floor, Peachy.
Okay, now we are going to be cutting away from that one for now.
You can't make bullet holes anymore anyway. So definitely is going to upset the playstyle of certain players and certain competitions. But we don't talk about them. We're here in Season 5 of the Esports Women's League. Round 5, the hatches are open for the Grumpy Grapes. Yoshi, no surprise, is going to be the first one down, looking to get herself in and looking to stack up even more frags. Looking to hit double digits before the second half, I would imagine. These drones have been paying out dividend spots. 2 in Cigar Lounge. So Yoshi sees that the wall is soft. They can look to charge on in. Can she find those frags, though? Just playing it safe. Tucks herself in towards New Belt. Gets the cam first. Wants some security when the frags come.
Exactly. With Kasta already dropped in as well, she is about to go make an entry. And, ooh, Peachy. Goes in for the gunfight, but only to get tagged up. And Yoshi as well, nearly in the synchronized manner. Gets the kill into Oats as well. So just like that, 5v3. And once again, that coordination, that play, that just, looked good, but on paper. But Dr. Gamer Girl is sharp on the play.
Unfortunately, the reposition also revealed a pixel of the head, and, well, Cass is going to find the follow-up. Triple for her this round, where Yoshi falls. She will stand up and stand proud. And jump to the last one left here for the defense. In 5 place at the moment with 4 to take on. Cass is going to swing out. Big damage and through the wall. Cass will secure the big 4-piece. Unfortunately, too shy of a chicken McNugget pack, but still a good pack nonetheless.
Yeah, look, that was definitely a phenomenal play, and it definitely looks like Cass been on the gamer grind for quite a fair bit, it seems. It's definitely an upgrade for her ever since some of the other performances back in the previous season, and glow up is real. I'll say that.
Yeah, definitely a massive improvement for the girls on the Grumpy Grapes, who are currently 1 round away from taking a 5-1 half here on the attack on Cafe. Downstairs to kitchen we go once again. This entry duo, though, has just been playing phenomenally, and I'm so keen to see where they go on the defense. Cass hitting her 10 now, double digits secured. And Yoshi 2 frags away herself. Toki, Nova, and Cheese look like they aren't showing up at all, but it's only because Yoshi and Cass are just storming in and taking all the frags.
Yeah, Yoshi and Cass just flat out just stealing all of those frags and just being too efficient in their game. On the side of Silix Angels, though, not to ignore them, they have been having a few decent ideas. Those setups were definitely good. Unfortunately, just in the mechanical skill department, it's been a little bit of a shaky performance. Gotta give it to Peachy, though. She was one of the few players that dedicated quite a fair bit of performance to make at least one of the rounds win in favor of Salix Angels. So overall, not to discredit them too much, just say that.
Yeah, still time. They could look to bring it back. Andromeda and Oates having a conversation about cross-map placements and utility denial. At the end of the day, they are going to set themselves up. Victory. Oates still has one more map in hand. The looking to place that down. Probably somewhere a little less conventional. It's those mats that do tend to catch your opponents out. And Yoshi is down. It's okay. Is that a frost mat? I think that may have been. Yeah,
No,
I think
no.
it was. No, it fell off the roof. That's even worse.
Ay, ay, ay. Very unfortunate for Yoshi. Had a... I don't even... How does she even fall off from there?
Probably went to repel and,
Oh, glitch.
you know,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we'll call it a glitch, Yoshi. You can call that what you want. Cass, though, going to find the opener. Peachy upstairs and Cigar down and dealt with as they look to, cover their bases, find those early frags. Head spotted. Cass going for the jiggle onto Dr. Gamer Girl with that MP5. That's a dangerous game. You can't be playing prone. It doesn't give you opportunity to retreat. And, well, it's been punished very heavily.
Indeed, Setsuki doesn't make a good decision to make a rotation, but instead decides to actually fall back, and oh lordy, that could have been bad. Toki decides to whip out the 44 mag to try to maybe add a little bit more of a BM to the matchup, but instead we do see Setsuki fall back a little bit further, now into just above the Harry Potter position on red stairs. Tries to go in for a pixel. He does know that the Nomad has dropped down and does hear the air jab, so overall linear of information to play off, but it's just at the moment a little bit the odds are stacked against her. Maybe a late flank could really work out here, because right now the hunting point is there. Cass just clicked.
Cass is just a Noah, a big, again, massive plays in the last round. Punches out a teammate's drone, but also then gets the frag, spots the shield. Andromeda is playing behind. Oats behind the Kilota Yoshi. Utility dump down towards the shield. And, well, one impact left. Is it going to be enough? No, it's eaten. And frag grenade is the call that's made. Tossed down to the shield. And unfortunately, the ADSs are all there. Just complete utility dump is not going to be enough, and Andromeda just sitting there happy as anything. And Oat's going to find herself a second in the round. This could turn on a dime.
10 seconds to go.
Look at the time as well, only 8 seconds remaining. The flooding needs to happen right now. Oats does get the better of Cass. Triple for Oats. Tries to go in for another one. No, it's TK comes around. No. Just like that. Silence. Oh, lordy.
Disaster, disaster. It's the only way to describe what just happened. Time management is such a key part of Rainbow Six Siege, and unfortunately it just wasn't there for the Grumpy Grapes. It was a phenomenal start to the round. Cass just doing big work for the team. Then unfortunately just battling against the clock, it came down to the wire. A team kill did not help in that situation whatsoever, but it is what it is. In those dying moments, you go for the frags that you can find. She did spot the head of Oats, so I can understand why the shots did come through. It was just a case of unfortunate time.
Exactly. Well, there we go. Round 7, the first half has concluded, and we are going to be seeing now Alex Angels to go over onto the attacking side. Hebana, Thermite, Zero, Sledge, and Zafir to be brought on board. Whereas on the side of GG, an introduction of Echo through a 6-pick is going to be a very
Defenders,
interesting
protect your
decision to
bombs from
hide
being
the
defused by attackers.
clan denial operator behind that 6-pick.
Well, round 7, second half underway. There was a blitz 6-pick. Peachy decided to go for something a little bit more conventional. Zofia instead, but we are seeing Zero coming through. We are seeing the Thermite as well, so a bit of a change up in terms of the hard breach. Echo could be a big disruption factor, especially on this 3rd floor bomb site. If you can get those yokais in the right spot, you're going to have a hard time getting that diffuser down, especially if you can keep Grumpy alive as long as possible. Again, we do see that aggressive style of setup in towards this 3rd floor bomb site. Player and Washroom going to have those aggressive angles to contest through. Looks like we are going to get potentially a backstop contest. There's only the one shield, so they are just going to have to play the lines of sight anyway. And of course, Yoshi is going for a spawn peek from Cigar Lounge.
Yeah, the only issue here is going to be that nobody spawns around that position. Opens up oddly enough the hatch and decides to pull back down, start making some of those peek holes. You can see the confidence in Yoshi, in Cass, about some of those swings, some of those peaks. Cass already managed to yoink away a drone for herself and for all the troubles. So curious how will that really play out. So overall, a much more flexible positioning.
Nova's jumping on Cam. No, this is the drone. Oh dear, I've made a mistake.
Salix, meanwhile, they did open up the hatch, so at the very least now they can start contesting certain positions, but that Aruni gate is also going to require some utility dump, which is probably the last thing that Salix Angels would have wanted right now, because they can't really drop down without losing a whole lot of HP. And that said, the rest of the roster will have to be a little bit more patient about those players. I'm loving the sheer amount of the rotation holes. Hello. That's a zero cam.
Yeah, that's at that point in chat, don't you? Like, you know, Aruni, 99 health.
Aruni,
yeah.
95, yeah.
Oh, 95, that's the run, because the Argus cams are a little bit more powerful than a shock drone. Sad times for Twitch, but I mean, they've done a good job on the side of Grumpy Grapes. They've burnt a minute 30. Starlix are no closer to getting themselves onto that plant. They've still got a lot of utility to try and clear out. At least they have drone information to work with. There's vertical angles, there's these holes from Washroom peeking out into Cigar. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Indeed, yeah. The breach does happen, albeit a little bit half-made, half-sided, but will not be spotting anyone, Dr. Game and Gold, to make an entry as the frag might possibly try to maybe do something, but at the moment it's definitely a very much of a passive push. Not a single frag apart from a little bit of a damage to Oaths, and even then that is borderline negligible.
Oh my lord, Yoshi, there's not an angle that anyone should be playing in a comp environment, but again, it's a case of if you can make it work, no one's going to be expecting you to play there, so make it happen. Cass does have that drone, but it's Peachy to kick things off. Toki falls, and Overwork going to get the trade. Luckily enough, loses a lot of health though in that engagement, swinging onto New Belt. Oh my lord, Cass for a double from White Stairs, had the pre-placed Nitro Cell. That is a huge pickup.
An absolutely stunning play, really. That info gathering definitely has managed to reap the rewards. Another swing does come around. There's a peek. No, absolutely misses out on it. Grumpy Cheese does fall apart, but it's all down to Setsuki to try to make a play right now. Tries to go for a swing. Swings actually very successful on White Stairs, but does not expect another crossfire to be done. And, well, that's a wrap on this round.
Speaking of wrap, we do have an update. Our two top place teams were playing in round one of tonight. 7-1 was the final score, going to Quacked. Viking Army taken down quite handily. This Quacked roster, I mean, most of, if not almost all of the former Nocturnal roster, so no real surprises that they are playing the way they're playing. But, I mean, look, they take themselves first place off of that.
Yeah, look, just like that, showing that they are ready and keen to get back on the game and grind. 7-1 is one way to really call it here, but look, even between Grumpy Grapes and Salix Angels, this feels like we might be running into a somewhat similar scoreline here.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
Well, 2 points are all that needed for Grumpy Grapes to close this one out. We head down to Kitchen. We do have the castle in this setup. I would imagine this is that small bakery coat check extension that you see all the Highland teams playing. It's a strategy that has somewhat fallen out of favor, but is still viable in today's current meta. Be interesting to see how Grumpy Grapes look to utilize it, how effective it can be for them. But Silex, they need to start bouncing back, picking up a couple of rounds here, and Kitchen probably the best site for them to do that.
10 seconds remaining.
Of course, yeah. Look, Kitchen is going to be one of those sites that is relatively good for the defense. It does offer a whole lot more of that turtle play, but you need to keep an eye out on that vertical gameplay from the dining, from the train, from the machinery side. And if you do forfeit that, that means a whole lot of trouble from above, and the type of danger that Grumpy Grapes don't really want to give away. So they do have, oddly enough, a castle in face of Toki roaming around, so curious to see what that will bring.
I mean, it is a case of you put your utility down, then you can go do what you want. Very similar to a Goyo, even, you know, even the likes of a Jaeger. So it could be seen. Oh my lord, Toki playing a dangerous game. Almost caught for a mining. Very, very lucky. But look at this, the Argus cam. Is that? I think that must be through the bakery door. Otherwise, that's an interesting angle to have found. Yeah. No. Where is that?
No, I actually planted right directly on the wall, right by the position.
Is
Curious,
that
how
from
was that even allowed?
Small Bakery, or she swung in, stuck the cam to the wall? Yeah. Oh no! Oh no, Peachy, that's rough. That's a frost mat already coming into play. I think it's the first frost mat we've actually had connect onto someone. Nitrocell prep. Is it going to be close enough to find the kill onto Peachy? No,
I don't
no.
think it was a Nitrocell though. Regardless of that, Grumpy Yoshi decides to go in for a swing. It's a drop shot by Dr. Game Girl, only to finally find the frag, but already so much damage has been dealt, and it's a bit of issue, to say the very least. Hello, that's a cheese.
Yeah, look, I think
Remember,
that...
actually, Panda, remember the video I sent you before?
Yeah.
Cheese versus...
Cheese, yeah. Look, I think that's the exact same sentiment that Setsuki had in that situation. Okay, I'm dead. Well, it is what it is. You carry on, you move on. Oaks at the moment. VIP entrance does get Cheese, so the trade is there. And Gamer Girl doubles down with a kill on Toki. They get themselves a player count. Gamer Girl tagged low, so it's going to be in a bit of a rough spot. Could easily make it that 2-2, but they're in a good spot. Gamer Girl does go down. Cass finds it. Andromeda just going to be walking straight up. Cass finds a follow-up with the headshot on Andromeda, leaving it in the hands of Oats in the 1v2.
Yeah, and look, this time it is not looking too pretty right now for Oats, trying to make a play, make a comeback. Right now with 25 seconds, 1v2, whilst being very workable against two very healthy defenders, it is certainly going to be a bit of an issue to really deal with right now. Trying to make a play, trying to find an angle, but all of it is just in fruition, and no. Jumps into the frost mat. That is
I saw it at the bottom
unlucky.
right-hand corner of the screen, and she was looking for the player swinging the doorway.
Ay.
And unfortunately, I mean, that is, R6 moments that precede disaster in a nutshell.
Yeah, look, well, there we are, match point 6-2 being the current scoreline. Silex Angels, whilst showing a a very valiant effort for their performance, unfortunately only can score themselves 2 points. Whereas the Grumpy Grapes came in quite prepared. They've definitely put in quite some practice right before the matchup, showing us some good overall performance and being able to land a few really nice shots by Yoshi and Cass. But apart from that, really, the rest of the match has been definitely a bit of a slower one, slower paced from Silex Angels so far on the attack. They definitely seem to be struggling to find their pace, to find their momentum. And this is what I feel is currently the main issue for them. The moment they're going to find the pace and able to figure out how to eliminate essentially the top performers of Grumpy Grapes, that is Yoshi and Cass, I feel like this is where they will be able to start finding some success.
Not Cass, the big question obviously for her is, does she get her 20 here coming into the what could be the final round?
5 seconds left before
6 KD for her right now, 18 and 3.
attackers
Just
are
going
heading out to
absolutely
defuse the bomb.
huge, playing the smoke this time. The new spray on the SMG11 has proved interesting for some people. We do see that vertical hold coming in for Reading Room Fireplace. Silex, they need to pick themselves up around, keep this one going a little bit longer. They could look to push for OT, but otherwise this could be their first round done.
100%. Looking at some of the attempts, Dr. Gamer Girl is going to try to maybe make a play there for herself. Straight away repels into the minibar and trying in hope of contesting a different position for herself. Yoshi is there on the roam. Same can be said for Cass. And I believe, who could that be? I believe that is actually Toki on the roam. Yeah, she is in the cocktail lounge getting called over, you know, hit up on the hotline bling. But so far it seems like they just don't want any of that. They don't want any visitors, any new faces to come around, and it's oddly enough Andromeda and Setsuki on the entry combo.
I don't even know if Novawick did anything effective with the mute jam. I'm pretty sure the call was done by the time she got to the mute jam. Frag grenade prepped here by Setsuki. They see the shield. They know that there's someone there, but Yoshi Denies
Oy, oy, oy.
from below with the Nitro Cell to come in clutch and save her teammate. Taki in a bit of trouble. Andromeda looking to peek. Novawick is there as well, but wow, what a clutch Sonic burst. Oh no! Walks back into the crosshairs at Taki, who will put Andromeda down. They look to aggress onto this cocktail angle, but Taki wins it a second time around. Peachy falls, and it is a 3 versus 5. Oats trying her luck now. But Taki is still very healthy, very alive. The logic bomb out is not going to be much of a deterrent, not much of an advantage to be found off of that either. 50 seconds left here, Cthulhu, and well, it looks like Grumpy Grapes may have just done it.
Most definitely looks like it. Barely any time remaining, 40 seconds for a push, and they're nowhere near the actual site. Dr. Gamago managed to push back all the way down to the second floor, and right now, look, this is definitely not looking too pretty. Some breaches are being made, but there's still a heavy presence available here. Even in train, it's about to get contested. Cheese, though, completely unaware of the presence and about to get a very spooky surprise in this very instant.
No.
But no, actually, oh no, oh no.
They
This
have
is-
just walked right
this is a
past her. Yoshi finds the kill on Yotes, who's playing around Pillar. Cheese is still here. Is just going to swing onto the fireplace. Finds one, and there we go. It's going to be a flawless round victory there. Cheese just shuts it out. The clock comes into play, and Grumpy Grapes will take the win off the back of an unfortunate misplay out of Silex. 7-2.
Yeah, 7-2, just like that. A very swift victory. Only 2 of those rounds for Silex Angels were achieved on their defense. Unfortunately, attack was not particularly favorable for them. Alas, it is what it is. 18-12, and 12 are the frags for between Cass and Yoshi. Absolutely stunning performance from them. Definitely have to be the MVPs for that very matchup. But with that said, Grumpy Grapes do manage to propel themselves up on the leaderboard, and that is a huge dub for them.
Yeah, they come in with a massive performance, motivated not only by, not making playoffs last season, but coming in off 2 losses in week 1. They have done their homework. It's very evident that they have put in a lot of work between this week and last week. Cass and Yoshi on the entry duo, my word, that is a terrifying prospect. And going into their next round, they are going to be versing up against Radical Rebels, who, honestly, I think should be a little bit concerned, because if they are warmed up fragging like that, 30-something frags between the two of them, they could pick themselves up 2 wins here tonight.
100%, yeah, I definitely think that could be the case, so we'll have to keep an eye out on the scoreline during the matchups, or rather round 2 of the matchups, but for the time being, we are going to go onto a short break, get ourselves all prepared for matchup number 2, and get ourselves maybe some beverages. So for now, stay tuned, we'll see you in a little bit.
I have to stop going back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. I have to stop going back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. To you, back to you, I have to stop going back to you, back to you, I have to stop going back to you, back to you, I have to stop going back to you, back to you, I have to stop going back to you. myself back. Everything around me is starting to turn black. Don't tell me you're hurt again. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how it's all my fault. Yeah, I've met my match again, starting from scratch again. Where is the pleasure in all this pain? Don't you lie to me. Say it's all okay when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye, but it's time to go. All I need is someone I've never felt more divided than now. Every word that leaves your lips never means how it sounds. You've conquered the best of me, could have just set me free. Games that you play are just second hand. And now I'm beside myself, don't want your fucking hell. Let me just go, let me just go. And don't you lie to me. Say it's all okay when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye, but it's time to go. All I need is someone You are my strangest addiction. I could stay awkward without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every You are my strangest addiction. I could stay awkward without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing
Deploying jammer. Deploying jammer. Ready to push them out. Using drone. Detonate. C4 ready. Drone up. Let's cause some chaos.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. Bomb located by attackers.
Incoming. Let's go.
I'm dry!
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser. Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Reloading, cover me!
Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Attackers recovered the diffuser. Operators, you are out of time. Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Grow is active. Deploying jammer. Loading new magazine.
10 seconds left.
Deployed.
5 seconds left.
ATS up and running.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Camera activated. ATS active in this sector. Stay clear of ATS line of fire. Ready to torch. Launching drone.
bomb has been located.
Reloading! Got you on the count.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Changing max! Reload.
15 seconds to go. 10 seconds left. Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Ready. Hurry, boys, up.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Electroclaw deployed, go. Reload! ADS up and running. Artilla active. Camera activate. Go. Claw is ready. Stay clear of ADS line of fire. Wall secured!
Bomb located by attackers.
Going live. Reload! Deploying drone. Evo design. Going live. Reinforcing the wall.
Swapping mags!
Shock loaded. Lay the net. Sending out. Net steady. Loading back.
A bomb has been located.
Dropping back.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
Enter into a new dimension of creation. The power to design, animate, and edit. Cool and quiet as you create, with breathtaking graphics performance. The way you create will never be the same.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After a brief break, you got to see Sky5 pick up their first win of the night. They're going to be heading into our second match of the day, where they look to string it together and get themselves a second. Cthulhu, we're coming back after a bit of time off. We've cooled off after our first massive map win coming out of Grumpy Grapes against Silex. We're coming into map 2. Do you reckon Skyfire can double up tonight?
Yeah, look, definitely after a bit of a closer game that they probably expected, it's something that they would want to just make it as quick as possible, although like maybe fatigue issues could be in play.
Well, I'm not quite sure how the Wrens matchup is, so maybe they are looking for their second win of the night as well. We'll have to wait for confirmation for production. But look, why waste any time? We should just go straight in, figure out where we are going to be heading, figure out just how interesting this one could be. Match 2 of the night, obviously, Wrens versus Skyfire. They've seen a bit of play so far in the competition. They've had some interesting results. Obviously, Skyfire, they picked up their first win against Grumpy Grapes in the first round of last week. Then they got 7-3 by Quack. So they are sitting 1-1. So are the Wrens, who did pick up win against Silex and then lost to Fallen, who Skyfire have just beaten. So, by transient properties, I think Skyfire kind of takes the win.
Look, maybe Skyfire will be able to grab a dub here for themselves. Wrens do also look very keen, very solid in their performances. Pardon me, I just having the whole lobby going and with all the dad jokes that I'm currently witnessing in the text chat. But yeah, look, honestly, both teams seeming to be very much keen and ready. They are both rosters are in high spirits, and yeah, look, it's just an exciting time because Clubhouse is a very exciting prospect, to say the very least.
Yeah, look, coming into this, we've just seen, Skyfire, they picked up their win against Fallen on Oregon. Now they're coming in. It seems we are going to Clubhouse. Oregon banned out in that last rotation of bans. No surprises that Wrens didn't want to take Skyfire back to the map they just won. So Clubhouse coming into this. This is where we saw Skyfire pick up their first win. They 7-1 Grumpy Grapes on Clubhouse. Interesting that Wrens opt to take them back here.
Look, for Wrens, I definitely think that this is going to be more so of a kind of a comfort ground. It's one of those maps that has been pretty much outstratted beyond any point of recognition. And same could be said for Skyfire, although the thing with Skyfire, I would imagine that they are feeling maybe a little bit either fired up or they may be feeling a little bit fatigued because of how close the game was. So they may be, after a short break, still feeling a little bit tense.
Well, tension aside, yeah, look, there was a battle, the gauntlet thrown down before the match started even. Dad jokes were the name of the game, who can come up with the best in the lobby, and from the sounds of it, things are really, really popping off. So we're going to Clubhouse, let's have a fly through, just to have a cheeky look at how this map is going to be gearing up. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a nighttime map, as fun as those are. It is going to be during the day. Interesting. It's, again, I said it during the high school league, it's one of the staples of competitive play. This should be in every single team's competitive map pool. If not, I'd be a little bit concerned. So both teams should be coming in prepped and ready. They should have strats. They should have some prep done. Operator ban phase could definitely determine the momentum, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. The ban phase is definitely going to be one of the big things that could decide what kind of pace are we possibly seeing here. Straight off the bat, I mean, nothing too unusual. Thatcher is still getting bullied. We've seen how game-changing he is back at the high school league grand finals and how much he was able to really make a change in some of these pushes. But for this time, he is back on the bench.
Yeah, unfortunately, so is Jekyll taken out by
Okay.
Skyfire. And, well, oh my lord, Cortari, come on. That is just not okay.
Look.
That's ironic that she says that, considering she posted a picture of her and 3-4 packs of Red Bull on her desk earlier today. Why would she need either coffee or tea?
I think at this point that there was, I've seen briefly somebody trying to challenge her to chug those remaining Red Bull cans for $30. Yeah, so I wouldn't put it past that. It's just being prepared to just absolutely just down it in a matter of just a few seconds, really. But looking at the bans, Mira and Kaya to finish up our ban phase. For Clubhouse, this is probably as standardized as it could possibly be.
Yeah, I mean, the only real deviation from there is maybe you see the likes of a Wemai coming through, but no.
Yeah.
Interesting that we're still seeing Mira banned out, given the changes that were made. I suppose you're still having to commit quite heavily just to get yourself close enough to try and
true.
punch out that glass. So, yeah, no crazy out there surprises in terms of that ban phase coming into round one. Looks like we might see something a little less conventional out of the Rens, though.
Look, for Rens, not much convention. Well, nothing too unconventional. The main thing here that caught my eye is the Skyfire's 6th pick. The Monty is being brought on board, especially for a gym bedroom side. Seems like Rens are looking to maybe kickstart their matchup off probably the less favored side, and for good reason, to just get it out of the way, make sure that they still fresh, still feeling good about it, and to get it prepared and sorted. So honestly, I'm liking so far the setups, although obviously we won't be seeing any bandit or mute tricks. It's there to essentially drain as much of the utility as possible.
Look, all the girls are friends. I'll having a chat to a teammate, and yeah, look, unfortunately it is what it is. I think it's on that time spent playing with some of those North American guys. She's caught the ping. The big noticeable difference though coming into this week for Skyfire is Katz is here. She is available and ready to play. She also knows what HSP stands for, which, as we have discussed, stands for Holy Smokes Peepo, because she went off absolutely massive in week number 1. She's here on the Maverick looking to do it again, and given the fragging prowess that we saw out of her last week, this is something that Rens hopefully have figured out. Hopefully they've done their VOD work so they know that she is a real threat to worry about.
Of course, yeah, look, this is certainly a one thing to really keep an eye on. Katz in general. I mean, I've heard the rumors that she even challenged you to a 1v1 matchup and won it out.
I got more kills, but she won. So make of that what you will.
Okay, well, we'll keep it as it is, yeah. But look, regardless of that, we're already seeing people doing just people things and just being surgical with the... I say surgical, but few struggles out there with the blowtorch, but slowly but surely getting rid of it. Easy breach, no contention whatsoever. Nobody is even in the cash room, so we are going to be going straight away to full send towards the construction site.
Yeah, it's a buffer that a lot of teams will set up, but usually you have someone sitting around cash looking to hold that one off. But for the moment, they're not willing to take those aggressive positions. Elle almost getting caught out on CCTV balcony, but for now she's good. Sporky though, the one on the rope, looking to push up red, sees the breaches there. Drone will be spotted and shot out, but the ERC was activated, so they know that she's in the vicinity. Yeah, call made, smart call at that, pull off, and Cortari with the team kill. What? What? I'm so confused. So we'll get the kill on the Agri, but Cortari just straight instinct, straight animal instinct there. Team kills Sporky as she runs towards Digger, has rotated up towards Rafters, very much isolated, while the rest of Skyfire are pushing in to get that plant down. What is going on?
Too many things really to say. Serenity is already going to go and get the plan down. Elle actually just got down Cortari to finish off as well, so overall, Look, a little bit of everything, really. Yeah.
Diffuser sabotage. I didn't realize that. Is that surely that's new? Yeah.
Pardon?
When the diffuser went down, it said that something was sabotaged. That I've never seen that before.
Yeah, first time I'm seeing that as well, yeah. But look, it seems like even the brain been sabotaged. That Womai did not stand a chance on that swing, and well, just like that, Skyfire, albeit with the help of
almost
Cortari.
as much chance as Sporky did swinging onto secret stairs.
Oh, yeah. Look, that's a bit rough for Sporky. Cortari she's not letting anyone. You try to fall back, you're a traitor to the nation.
Yeah. If you're not moving forward, you're not doing your job, and. My mute got jammed. Unfortunate. Well, look, we are coming into round number 2. They've opted to go to CCTV, so more the traditional. Chloe still sticking out this Monty, which, I mean, it got them into the site, it got them the good coverage, but a lot of the frags were found off-site. And by Rens.
Yeah, look, it's definitely it was an interesting beginning to the matchup so far, let's just say that, because it was a relatively swift push by SKF. They've pushed them really well. The sixth player managed to get the frag at the secret, and essentially from there on, the flank has been pretty much, it sorted itself out.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, look, coming into the season, maybe Cortari in a different timeline could have ended up on Team Skyfire, and maybe its timeline's crossing, and that's why the frag was found. When we get into the action phase, we do see traditional setup here for CCTV. They've got the mute jammers down. Okay, yeah, look, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, look, we're trying to maybe change
and
a
it's
few.
not like they don't have the reinforcements for it.
Yeah, they have all the reinforcements. That's the funniest part. There's actually 2, actually, the ones that are missing. But I guess so. Have some
Case
large
of timing,
brain plan.
who knows?
Yeah, could be everything really. Maybe they were just a little giggling their butts off after what happened in round 1. For now, though, Peepo was actually, holy smokes, Peepo is just trying to get the breach done. Thank you for the assistance in opening with that C4, and well, didn't really catch anyone off guard, so it's Burnabear to just fall back.
They have the breach open into CCTV. No attempts for the nitro. They could have gone for a bandit trick. Chloe has been tagged up just a little bit. I'm not quite sure what that was, but did go for that secondary hard breach gadget. Okay, so it was Meeps playing around Lounge, Sporky as well. They've got a lot of commitment to. Another team kill. This time it's Cortari to 4.
I mean,
and then immediately Serenity frags out Angry Wolf. 2 rounds in a row, there has been a team kill, and then Serenity killing Angry Wolf.
it's just, it's one of those days, I guess. I don't know how else to explain. Finally, at the very least, Meeps is able to redeem herself to get cats, but even then, the damage has been already dealt. Like, it's still a 4v3. The swings are already happening. Full control of CCTV, and the plant is about to go down. Nobody's below with a C4. And right now, it's down to Burnabear to try to do something, but just got spotted with the shield. There we go, Saren. Pretty much, she cleans things out, and now it's just everyone just peeking one by one.
And Sporky now trying to funnel their way in. Triple kill for Serenity. Leaves it all in the hands of Meeps, who has found, well, 2 kills technically already this round, and is going to be taken down by L, playing on Rafters. There's Skyfire with 2 very succinct rounds in which the plant was secured.
Yeah, look, I am intending to DM Rens to ask, what happened? It wasn't so. Hey, what happened? Nah, honestly, but like, think of it this way: I would have understood if it was Sporky killing Cortari, right? Because gotta get some revenge going. But first round, Cortari GNs Sporky. This time it's Meeps GNing Cortari. So are we gonna go in pairs now? So say now that Cortari died, now it's going to be Burnabear GNing Meeps, and then after that Angry Wolf GNing Burnabear.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Is this like the dominoes? You just see one taking on the other until the full collection has been secured. Well, it hasn't happened in the prep phase, so it's something that happens in the action phase. So I'm anticipating like a minute from now, we might see that team kill if how Rens are seeming to play things. But it's an odd way of playing it, and I don't know whether we could see maybe some revenge coming through, and Cortari takes out some minor frustrations on Meeps as the round gets underway.
We also seeing the very same setup in the garage, which my only assumption is that they are just expanding those very far sides of the wall just to make sure that those are the ones where the utility gets burned on. But I mean, I suppose that works. In theory, that is a good way to just save up the reinforcements, but you still have one more reinforcements remaining, so why not try to use it on one of the garage doors? Maybe it's something that will get clarified later on by one of the players, but regardless of that, like, you still see the same angle being opened up by Ellie, so I'm assuming it's just reinforce whatever the necessity is.
Well, I mean, now there's one reinforcement left, so that begs the question where these reinforcements will be placed. Bernabé this time in a different position, handing off that spot to Cortari, now playing the rafters window, waiting, just waiting for the wall to be opened up. That could have been absolutely ruthless. Pulls off for the moment.
Bomb located by
Being
attackers.
shot at by Angry Wolf. Oh, speed of Angry Wolf being shot at. Look, Ella's struggling. She's up struggle street right now. It's less than it was before, so it's not 300. Peepo gonna find the kill on Angry Wolf. Angry Wolf 3 rounds in a row. The unfortunate victim of the opening gunfight.
Yeah, Logan, definitely it's rough out here, but Cortari at the very least is able to find a refrag with an FMG9, so we got that going. No GNs just yet. Saren does manage to find herself a gunfight, although gets tagged out quite severely. Does spot a few more of those goo mines, so right now does slowly but surely clears out the rafters, so right now that's the prime position for the push. Meeps actually playing from below could introduce a few issues, but just misses out on that gunfight, but has the ability to actually make a flank happen here. Albeit might just get spotted out. Ellie.
It's Ellie with ping issues. Chloe is there, so they can look to try and lock this off. That was a drone down oil pit, so they spot Meeps. They know that she's there, so they are going to play it smart. But while that's going on, Ellie just going to go straight up rafters. Katz is on the bomb site looking for the pixel. Any heads it can be about, and just through the grate. Chloe takes her out. Trade comes though. Squawky Trout taking out Katz. Brings it back to the 2-2. Cortari looking at the player on rafters. New smoke propagation as well. We haven't really touched on that much yet. But yeah, new fancy animation and everything.
Look at all those flakes.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting new system. You gotta say it's improved. Squawky finds the kill on Ellie. Triple kill for her. Cortari prone in cash, looking for the angle. It's gonna be Squawky to try and contest to find a fourth, but it's not enough. Cortari though, bouncing back from last round and the team kill, is gonna be the one to get the first point on the board for the Rens in a 1vx.
All right, there we go. We do see finally some progression here.
The floor.
Look, down bad is probably the best way to describe for Ellie. I mean, they have all the rights to call in a pause and trying to do some maybe a quick rejoin and restart the game. But yeah, look, right now it's definitely something that probably needs to be addressed here for L. But unfortunately, that's not the case just yet. The 6 pick from Gridlock over to Nomad. I'm completely nearly blanked out on the operator name. And we do see a switch over to the church here, which is a much more kind of reinforced position. Does allow you a very turtle-like strat setup. We do see yet again a very standardized reinforcement of all of the hatches. No real expansion on the top floor like quite a few teams did prefer to do back in the day, but right here, right now, maybe
10 seconds to go.
something different could be happening. Again, Meeps will be the one to possibly hold it in blue.
No Jaeger
Moving out to locate
coming
a bomb
out in
and
this
defuse
space
it.
and all, which is something you don't often see. But again, I think it comes down to recoil changes and all those attachments. Cam outside of garage is going to spot 2, but is shut out immediately. Meeps on the job of the cams at the moment. I think maybe Ella's just struggling. She's, for some reason, her ping is hard locked because she spends so much time playing with the North American Challenger League E-Boys. And too much time hanging out with Parabellum has locked her ping to 200 plus. And as a result, look, yeah, you can see her just struggling a wee bit.
Yeah, it is definitely a bit of a struggle fest really here for her, trying to just get even just the basic motoric functions done and dusted. But look, yeah. For now, the rest of the team is continuously droning out to make sure that they know exactly where everyone is out of the defense, but so far, so good. It's been a relatively clean game. Nothing too sussy, although an Aruni gate at the kitchen hatch will only be able to just drain a single flashbang, so nothing too major, but in the future setting, it will be maybe bit of an issue to try to maybe flank out somebody who's behind the a reinforced position. So 5v5, minute 40.
They are making good time on the side of Skyfire. They've got main kitchen hatch open. They can look to drop armory should things become a bit dire. Cat's now on the job, getting that verticality underway, starting to rip up the kitchen and main hallway floor. Those vertical angles start to contest. A little bit to be concerned about, and Sporky being spotted out in lounge as well. This time doesn't have to worry about Cortari and Secret Stairs. Can rotate up with a bit more security in her positions. But look at that, Cortari out dirt tunnel, aggressively peeking, waiting for someone to relocate from that kitchen area. But no, not to be the secondary hard breach. No, not even secondary hard breach gadgets. 4 X-Car is committed to open that up. But Cortari, unfortunately, not going to find much of anything.
Yeah, look, at the moment it's a bit rough out here. Can't find much of the frags. Angry Wolf keeping herself concealed pretty well right in the corner of the site, managing to keep up the tension already. Ellie does get down. Peepo does get tagged up. Cortari gets traded out, but already some damage has been dealt, and Sporky is still on a roam upstairs, which could be huge if played well, although the revive does come around, so Ellie is back on play. Saren just popping off with a double already at the bottom of the main stairs, and Kat is about to make an entry into the memorial room.
15 seconds left.
Sporky catches that Ellie from behind, but look at that, Meeps playing behind the chair. Serenity on the immediate trade before being downed himself. Sporky following them down from behind. Brings it down to a 1v2. It's all on Peepo, who is in church, has to go for that plant. No time left. And Sporky will be the one to pick up the round this time. A unfortunate series of events that leads to Ren's picking up their second round here on Clubhouse. But Serenity is still fragging out hugely.
Oh yeah, Serenity is just popping off. Absolutely nasty style. We are going to call in the pause and maybe a rehost, so we shall see how things will really work out. But yeah, a rejoin is going to be there, so we are paused on the matchup. Kat's completely forgetting that there is that option for herself, and yeah, there we go. Ellie will need to restart the internet, so spikes are there. Probably not particularly enjoyable to really play with that.
Well, it's yeah, look, it is what it is. They have that opportunity to go for the pause. It's the reason that we see pauses now introduced, makes things infinitely easier coming into these matchups. So 2-2, we've seen three of the 4 bomb sites played. Gym once, CCTV twice, basement once. So CCTV, Rens are 1-1 on the defense. Gym, they are 0-1, and basement now 1-0. They have options, but unfortunately, the only options in the remainder of the half are going to be CCTV or Gym, which at the moment, they don't have great outcomes on.
Yeah, look, it's definitely been a little bit of a rough experience, although I'll say that CCTV and Jim, so far, the only times when Skyfire was able to win so far was off the back of one of the players of Rens TKing another. So it was from the get-go, before even any of the gunfights started, it was a 4v5. And so the moment those TKs stopped, we can already see Rens back on the board, managing to draw it out 2 apiece. And it bears a question of, did Ren's kind of toy with their prey here? Did they manage to finally find their pace, or is it Skyfire that just kind of feeling a little bit out of their rhythm, out of their pace, and kind of used up all of their fragging energy for the first 2 rounds, and kind of leaving Saren being the only one to kind of get the frags?
I mean, look, it's still a lot of questions to be asked as to how this map is going to be playing out. Skyfire have shown some very, very good moments, but then Rens have also answered back with some moments of their own. Cortari, still, I mean, look, she was captain of Elevate during their phenomenal run, picking up all their championships throughout the Women's League. There's a reason she was one of the most sought-after players in this season of competition. She was initially going to step away. She then decided no, she was going to stick it out, goes with Rens, and is one of the most potent players in this competition. So she's, again, proving why she has that title. She got team killed in round 2, so she wasn't able to achieve much. Round 1, she was very disjointed from the bomb site, so again, very limited in what she could do. As soon as she hits a bomb site she can play into, round 3 on CCTV, shuts it down, gets control of the site, locks out the round. And the round number 4, largely the same. If it wasn't necessarily taking those aggressive angles, you could obviously hear what's going on in the lobby, because that's what happens as an observer. I can't, so it's probably for the best. But again, she was still pushing that aggression out the breach that had been opened by Skyfire in Dirt Tunnel, looking for aggressive angles. So I'm anticipating we're seeing more of that, and we've already seen it work quite well.
Yeah, look, definitely some solid holds we've seen from both of the teams. It's one of those great joys that we've seen both of the rosters showing out some good performances and being able to really respond back. It's definitely showing that both Renz and Skyfire have been preparing pretty well. They've been practicing. They've been doing their due diligence on some of their performances. But apart from that, really, it's definitely been a bit of a game of just who can punish each other harder on some of the smaller mistakes. And apart from that, really, is just not much really to be mentioned. Apart from that the whole of Skyfire roster, for example, People, Serenity, been doing their pretty much what their roles stayed. Just get the hard breaches done, get the soft breaching going, go for the frags, get them running. The main thing that they need to make sure that they're nailing down is the fact how well Sporky so far been on the roam and being able to demolish and deconstruct that whole Skyfire roster. I mean, round 4 was the best example of that, as Sporky's roam got completely ignored, and she was able to punish each and every Skyfire member. She followed them down, yeah.
That was unfortunate. So I've just had confirmation. So Rens are also sitting on a win tonight. They beat Radical Rebels, so both teams are sitting 1-0, and one of these teams will have to end the night 1-1. At the stage, it's kind of hard to call who it could be. But Skyfire, they've got 2 rounds on their attack. They have the defense to play around. Again, the preferred side on a map like Clubhouse, definitely going to be interesting, especially with Cats now in the roster, having been away last week. I'm keen to see what she can bring out on the defense. Now that she knows what HSPs are, now that she knows it means Holy Smokes Peepo, we know that she can show up and start fragging. But we are just going to throw it to a quick break while we wait for Elle to sort her internet issue. She's taking a bit longer than we anticipated, so we'll be back very, very soon, guys. All right, we are back. Al is back in the lobby. I can't say whether or not our internet issues are fixed, but this is Season 5 of the XP Esports Women's League. Play Day 2, Round 4 overall in this double round robin. I'm Blue Panda. Joining me is Cthulhu. Cthulhu!
Yes.
We're coming back after a break. It's 2-2, and we head to Gym Bedroom again, which is where Rens lost their first round.
Yeah, look, this time though, I would imagine that Rens would have the whole roster present in play. So hopefully it will be in a similar fashion like we've seen in round 3 and 4, where they don't just go for TK. So meanwhile for Skyfire, look, yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle town. L living in Darwin is definitely seeming to be a bit of an issue because ISPs are a pain. And yeah, look, a few votes are out there. Look, it's definitely a bit
370.
Yeah, it's rough.
Look, why don't they just move the whole team to New Zealand? Because we have good internet. And,
Exactly, yeah.
It would just make sense. But look at the scores right now. So, highest on Rens is Sporky with 6. On Skyfire, 9-0-2 for Serenity, 1-2-1-1 for her teammates right now.
Yep. It's Serenity versus the world. At the moment, really, Skyfire is just, yeah, a little bit struggling to play as the full solid squad after a very nail-biting game in their round 1. Same can't be really said about Rens. It was, I believe, a 7-3, which is a much easier scoreline to cope with. But look, why don't we get back to our usual HSP shenanigans while Cortari just GNs L, just like that.
Again, playing the same position, looking to open up impact holes to try and contest onto the balcony outside the bomb sites as well. Cortari showing no signs of easing up the gas pedal, spots the head on the roof as well through the tree. That is a crazy pick telling the belt cam as well. Gonna spot out the player proning. Cat's trying to contest into garage, but no, Cortari not gonna give up the angle just yet.
Bomb has been located.
Nitrocell, I believe, yeah, it was a Nitrocell spotted and shot out by Cats. And Cortari not having a bar, but is gonna rotate himself up. But look at the offsite presence. There is only 2 players gonna take on the bomb side at the moment. Yeah, 2 players. You can see them on screen. Sporky and Meeps playing on the opposite side. Angry will force now only 1 player on the bomb site as Skyfire are going to march on in 10-0-2 for Serenity right now. Burnabear pushing up main stairs, trying to catch out someone from behind, but it's Cortari to find Peepo. Burnabear catches out Serenity. Just caught looking the wrong way. Let's diffuse it down. Chloe will last back with a kill on the Meeps. Keeps it close. Burnabear wins the fight against Cats as well with the P10 Roni. And this is looking dire for Chloe.
Indeed, yeah, about to get pinged over by yet another peak. Chloe a bit struggling out here. There's a fair bit of damage has been dealt to all 3 players of Rens, so maybe in the future gunfights Chloe would be able to a bit of an even ground, but even so, 45 seconds to find 3 frags or go in for the plant. Definitely looks still like a bit of a tall order. Still has 4 cameras at the very least in her disposal, so at least there's that for Chloe. Apart from that, really, is just the whole of Ren's squad playing very patiently. Oh, well, I said patiently, not Sporky. Sporky is just absolute fiending right now on the roam and should ensure essentially a very nice light flank to make sure that Chloe doesn't get any further.
Yeah, look, the shark in the water, smelling blood, but Chloe's already in upstairs, trying to get herself control of the diffuser. Will push into Con as well. Has an idea that maybe they're pushing up Burnabear. Tucked in a gem, swings in. Chloe, it drops the hedge.
Chloe.
Gonna play for the. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but playing for the KD. Yeah, it doesn't even go for the diffuser. Playing for the KD, 100%. Got the kill, got out. Will give Rens their 3rd going into the final round of the half. And it's 3 in a row now for the Rens girls.
One would have thought that maybe after that long of a break, we would have seen a slight change of pace, but it seems like Rens right now just feeling really good, really solid. They're keen, they're ready, and not really keen on giving away any further rounds. Really, their defense so far has been clinical, and they are on a brink of potentially even scoring themselves a 4th point, which at that point should give Skyfire a bit of a spook, gotta say.
Well,
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
round of the half as we head to CCTV. 1-1 currently for the Rams team. And they take it any further. They've got the bandits. We've seen some interesting setups out of them so far, opting to reinforce the outer 2 panels on Garage rather than all 4, which you see a lot of teams doing. But at the moment, yeah, it looks like they're going for that same setup. Sporky only getting the one closest to the bomb site for that number 2 garage door. This is interesting. This is
10 seconds remaining.
far less conventional than you would have expected.
Indeed, yeah. But it worked out pretty well. I mean, nobody really have peeked out too many times out of the attackers through those soft spots on the wall. So it's definitely a bit of an alarming state here for Skyfire, who weren't able to really do much. Now, we're all fine on the ping, and even L's ping... spoke too soon.
Casticast.
Casticast, yeah. Look, for the time being, the rest of the Skyfire should still be able to perform here, I would imagine. I mean, look at Serenity already on a 10-kill game for herself. The rest of the team, though, was the issue, it seems, because for Renz, look, I mean, Cortari, Sporky been doing quite some solid work. Same goes for, well, theoretically, Meeps and Burnabear been trying to put in the work. Although, probably want to maybe capitalize a little bit more on some of the frags.
I have to say, though, like, the one player who really is having a stand-up match so far is Pipo. Despite the frags, like, you know, being 1 and 3, the way in which he has played this Maverick has been phenomenal. Very, very quick to get these walls open, doing her job to an absolute T to enable a team to get in and start contesting these bomb sites. So, unfortunately, yeah, being a support player, being the hard breacher doesn't necessarily translate into the big kill moments, but the fact that she is getting these walls open so quickly, avoiding that threat of death coming out of the nitro cells and all the rest of it, this is just clean play out of her.
Yeah, she's very consistent on her breaches. Definitely seems like she's been putting in quite the time into practicing and making sure that it is as efficient as possible, and making sure that just she keeps as many openings as possible for her team as well. So right now, in the hopes of maybe trying to find the position of Womai of Meats is going to be the core priority here. Just about to see the bean. Does not see the bean just yet. Meeps keeps on getting just bulldozed on too many positions, too many frags to deal with, and there we go, there's a down.
And, I mean, Jaeger wasn't banned. They haven't picked it up at all so far this half, and definitely could have made that whole thing a little bit better. Sporky flanking into the lounge is going to get some damage down, but it is not enough. Meeps will be finished off by Serenity, who just charges up rafters stairs. Cats watching the cross, providing that support. Sporky again, going for her world tour. Going towards main stairs. Angwolf's going to be tagged up through Cash as well. Rens are bleeding players, resources, and Hell's Burnabear, though, taking down Serenity. That is the first step in picking up a victory here. One of the key fraggers, one of the key players, almost finds a second on that rafters window. For now, alive. That's the best you can ask for as Chloe walks in with the MP7 of her own. Cats doubles down into Sporky, and Chloe finishes it off, walking up red stairs, catches Angry Wolf from behind in Cash. Too many angles to watch, too much to cover, and it will be that 3-3 half in the end.
There we go. Round 6 has concluded the first half for us in a draw between the two teams. Skyfire managed to finally stop the bleed after a 3-round streak that Rens were able to ramp up, which were actually very formidable ones to witness, but couldn't really hold on to the CCTV and Cash. So this time it is Skyfire's time to try to maybe bring something new to the table. Ellie, once again, having a few issues with the ping, I would imagine. We'll be actually deciding to opt into a mute pick, but it's a 6th pick bait. Possibly for maybe another mute. No, sorry, not a mute pick, but... Okay, yeah, instead. I was about to make a meme about pulse to pulse, but no, that won't be the case here.
Look, I mean, I understand why the Jaeger's coming out. It's an already... You place your utility down, then the map is yours. You can do as you wish. You don't need to hang around. So, look, I respect it. The gun, not the worst in their situations as well. Let her have as much advantage as you can, given the ping problems that she's having at the moment. Definitely keen to see what she can do with that. On the other side of the coin, Rens this time, it is Cortari picking up Maverick Shrekking. I I haven't seen much of her on the Maverick, so I can't say can't imagine how much of a how much she can go up against the likes of Pipo, who has just been clinical and efficient with that breaching torch. So hopefully, I mean, if she can do the job for Renz, enable them to get it and contest things, it could be the play.
Attackers must locate and defuse
100%. The main thing I think here for Renz, the reason why it is Cortari who
Cortari
picked
is
up,
also playing the AR-15.
yeah, the AR-15. Yeah, that's another thing. But yeah,
She
the one
likes
thing
her DMRs.
Look, I mean, the DMRs are not that bad. Some of them are definitely very still solid choices, especially damage-wise. But I think here the reason why she ended up going for the Maverick out of all the operators, I would think, is just the sheer amount of experience in the competitive play, and she kind of trading to do a little bit more of the utility play here. So rightfully so, we'll be continuing to start making a line. So far, look, a little bit of a janky play there, but able to at the very least get rid of the first line. So now the bottom line, Neeps should be able to cover her, as there's not really any considerable play, and the C4 play comes around but won't be able to find much. Instead, it's Chloe who actually took damage.
Attackers
Yeah,
have
shots
located
of
a
that
bomb.
drone hole. Oh no, it would have been shot by Meeps on the rappel, I would imagine, pushing up towards that CCTV door. But yeah, unfortunately, the HSL not landing in the right place. Not quite as efficient as Pipo, but effective nonetheless. They do get that CCTV wall open. They can start to contest it. And Cortari there with the 3 times on the AR-15, looking for the feet of anyone. Cash has the rotate locked down as well, but Bernabear from below could present a unique opportunity to the team. Being able to scout out utility, being able to scout out information, catching anyone on cams through that floor would be huge. So far, it's still a rather negligible round. No huge damage done. Yes, Chloe's been tagged, but she's not by any means out of the fight. No real commitment as of yet.
Not at all, yeah, really. Just waiting for the opportunity to happen, for some of the callouts to happen. Starts looking around for some yummy utility to get rid of. That's one of the mute jammers out of the equation, I believe. There's still a few more to spot out, and Serenity does acknowledge the fact that there may be some vertical play at hand. Very nice bunch up around the logistics office / construction, which could enable a nice pincer maneuver. But right now, without the fact that they haven't really cleared out the rafters, it is going to be an issue. But Cortari theoretically should be able to cut out any of those attempts at rotation, so maybe she might have a very favorable play, although Cats does ensure that Renz will have a few issues.
Angry falls, so does Meeps, doubling down. Cortari trades back onto Al, but unfortunately with ping issues, it's much of a muchness. Serenity finds Forky as well, so stringing those frags to get a Serenity. Almost finds another, but it's actually Cats with a Nitro Cell to steal it away. Serenity does get her third in the end. Bernabear falls, and it will be first round of the half going the way of Skyfire. A very, very solid defense. The question was there, going into the half 3-3, how competent, how cohesive was that defense going to be, especially with Al suffering? Well, the answer is pretty solid. They were almost undeterred.
Yeah, there's a few small hiccups that could have happened really for Skyfire, but they made sure that it was all on lock. The huge piece of that puzzle was Cats ensuring that she gets herself that triple kill and being able to shut down the presence in the construction side. And at that point as well, I do think that the fact that Cortari ended up being very much cut out of all of that action and having to essentially force her way through that breach whilst the rest of the team abandoned that position definitely introduced a few struggles for the Maverick player. So a few of the misplays, Renz had a good idea to try to reposition themselves, seeing as they weren't really getting any traction from that breach. Just unfortunately they ran into Cats, and well, the rest is history. So maybe this time on Church and Arsenal Room, Renz might be able to make a better play, given that the fact that they have brought on board Fuse, who's probably the most efficient here on this very site.
Yeah, look, I didn't want to touch on it because it's Cortari bringing it of all things. This operator, it plays very well. Yeah, like you said, on this bomb site, it's good for clearing out utility, it's good for clearing out players. Not to mention the AK-12, hell of a gun in these situations. Also deters anyone from looking for those impact tricks onto the hatch, so you don't have to worry as much about that. They've got operators for the information, they've got the hard breach, they've got the tools they need to get themselves into the site. Fuse though throws a spanner in the works. Now they have to worry about the threat of those pucks landing. L on the Valkyrie though could enable them to get that early warning information and find that avenue to avoid that explosive deterrent.
Exactly. Well, the first fuse charge does come around, and it's, oh lordy, it is going to be just raining, just explosives everywhere. No damage yet, and instead it is going to be a secondary hard breach charge going off. No impact trick whatsoever, and it actually is successful. So perfect play by the fuse, and still having 2 more cluster charges.
I mean, that could not have worked any better for Rens, and that's exactly why they brought it. Fuse charge into the secondary hard breach gadget is a self-fulfilling prophecy at the end of the day. You enable yourself to get that kitchen hatch open, freeze up the thermite. Angry Wolf can now utilize those exothermics where she should want to. She's used one already, I believe. That's probably going to be onto Dirt Tunnel. But for now, Cortari repositioning, going for more fuse charges. Final exothermic going to be going out onto that bar hatch. So they've got 3 technically avenues to get themselves in. Alley falls. Cortari finds that angle with the AK-12. It's unfortunate, still battling those ping issues. Has the Valkyrie camp set up, so at least they can get information off it. But Cortari definitely feeling like she's warming up in this half.
Yeah, look, Cortari definitely still has the opportunity, because I do believe there's still some utility that was positioned that could be cleared out, but it seems like Meeps might just do it by hand, so it should be still all good. Ren's push here looking very promising, gotta say. There's plenty of ways that they could really collapse onto a site, and it is exactly what they would want here, really, given the fact that the rest of Skyfire right now are still playing in a very locked down position. They don't really have a whole lot of room for movement, and right now a single just bad move, a single loss in a gunfight will result in a L, because right now Serenity just took a loss there in a gunfight, got downed. Sporky about to try to go in and finish off the Jaeger, does see the foot, finally does manage to finish off. So 5v3, it is definitely, well, make it 5v2, it is just an absolute ripper right now. Overgame, although a response in itself from Peepo and Chloe.
Peepo and Chloe find one each, and Cortari is going to swing on aggressively to church door. Angry Wolf in the site, can go for that plant. Spray through means Meeps is low, and in fact down. M590 out to try and confirm, but Chloe decides no. There's someone watching. SMG11 is the play instead. Pings coming up. These cams are so good out of L. With the plant down, it's a post-plant setup coming out of the Rens. They have every advantage in the situation. Chloe 7-0-2. She can find one. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a chance at all. Prone Angry Wolf through that rotate that was set up by Skyfire to punish. And yeah, it's a big round for the Rens to take.
Indeed. There we go. Rens managing to keep themselves afloat is a very good thing here, especially on a site that is Church. Things definitely looking a little bit now even more tense. Back to being in a draw now. This is where, for Skyfire, they might be having a few very rough mental moments, maybe, or possibly they are keeping it all in check. Obviously, both teams were very happy to get into a matchup between the two of them, and going for a vast, expansive library of puns. But apart from that, we are going to be actually seeing a return onto the Church and Arsenal. It seems like Skyfire are well aware that they could have done a job way better. They are bringing in Pulse in play. Not only that, it's a Pulse with the M1014. So we do see a MT Jack special here from Chloe.
Shoddy Pulse seems, I mean, look,
yeah,
it's a Skyfire roster. MT Jax plays for Skyfire's main roster. It seems that Shotgun, I mean, honestly, Shotgun Pulse just seems to have infected ANZ as a region. We see so much of it nowadays. In fact, it's almost the preferred style of play. And I really rate this, given that Fuse is going to be stuck out once again. Unfortunately, those cams just weren't able to get that information early enough for them to contest it. With a Pulse on the board, being able to play around those extra nitro cells, and in fact, yeah, Cats is bringing the nitro cell rather than looking to go for that impact trick. I think they're trying to bait Cortari out into going for replacement.
100%, yeah. I definitely think that this is going to be the play here and the decision. Chloe should be still, playing around close by on the flooring of the kitchen side. So right now, this is actually could be a huge play, and I would imagine Cortari is also expecting to be baited for that kind of play. Also switching over from the 2x scope onto the holographic and spotting the camera gives off the possible plan. So maybe, just maybe, it is going to be Meeps that will be baited out into this kind of play.
Well, they're looking for it. Nitrocell not going to be thrown in time. So there we go. Oh, actually, okay, no. It's going to be a trade. L finds the kill onto Meeps with the Nitrocell, so no sledge. But the trade comes out. Cortari is going to be shot. The secondary hard breach gadget will go out, though. Unfortunately, the M1014 not able to clip it, not able to deny that kitchen hatch, but with Cortari on the ground, she's in a far less tenable situation. We might even see a Nitrocell bait, but no. Chloe has rotated out. It's not going to be found.
Alright, Chloe still has the C4 though, so she could go for a slightly later C4 play. There's still another cluster charge that did go off, but the only person who was able to claim the frag was Serenity, as she's actually playing a very, very aggressive play on the same position. That's Cats out of the equation as well, and Serenity meanwhile continues to rip through the Ren's roster. Still decides to stick around by the stage. And now it's down to Angry Wolf and Cortari to try to make a play. The punch hole is there to try to maybe bait a swing. The pings are even there. So Serenity's position is now well aware, and the bait has been absolutely successful. But damage has been already dealt. Cortari is barely on any HP and won't get the down opportunity. So it's all down to Angry Wolf theoretically.
One exothermic charge remaining will be used in bar to open the hatch. I'm sure Chloe would have seen that with the scanner. Looking for any information, spots a heartbeat. Nitrocell pre-placed! It was on the Cortari, but it's a kill nonetheless, leaving it in the hands of Angry Wolf and a 1v2. Peepo and Chloe, the two players remaining. Angry Wolf, very hesitant at the moment. Not quite sure what the call is going to be. She does have the diffuser, not the nitro, the diffuser in hand, so can look to make a play off it. But with two very healthy defenders who can set up a crossfire, one of them with a shotgun, in fact. This could be a rough spot, and look at them. 3 of the 4 dead players on Reds. In fact, all 4 players watching Angry Wolf right now.
Yeah, look, they don't even have, I would imagine, no kind of information together, and right now it's looking very much rough. Chloe at the end is actually the one to find a finisher with a relatively long angle with a 5.7, and there we go. Very solid play. Gotta give it to Chloe. She was the one who managed to make quite a fair few things work here for Team Skyfire to push them a little bit closer to the dream of the match point, whereas on the side of Rens they're still a little bit behind on the race. But CCTV is going to be the next choice for the defense of Team Skyfire, and last time CCTV actually worked out pretty well 2 times in a row. Actually, pardon me, yeah, well, once on attack, once on defense for Skyfire's scoreline.
That is the power of adaptation. The call was made, pick up the pulse, see what we can do. It worked out phenomenally for Skyfire. They picked themselves up a second round.
Attackers need to locate and
CCTV.
defuse bomb.
Yeah, they played it once, they won it once. It started off with Cats absolutely locking things down from Cash. Can they look to do it again here? Can they look to push to match point? At the moment, Rens have really been hounding Skyfire, always on their tail, constantly just a round behind. So, as much as I think maybe Skyfire can push to match point, I don't think we're done just yet.
Oh yeah, I highly doubt that we are done yet. I definitely think that we are going to be seeing an overtime play here between the two teams, and yeah, the way how you describe it, Rens hounding Skyfire is the best way to really call it, given the fact that both teams have very able fraggers. I mean, you look at the scorelines, Cortari, Sporky have been doing some phenomenal work. On the side of Skyfire, it's Serenity, it's Cats, it's Chloe doing some amazing fragging, and quite a fair few times it's very much down to the last like 1v1s, 1v2s, and it's always an absolute pleasure. L just pulling out at the last moment off that angle, which could have actually possibly found her a very nice clean headshot, but not just yet.
I'm so confused. Why is the player with triple digit ping looking for spawn peaks? It is audacious, is the only way to describe that setup. Was looking for the prone angle, playing in COD, waiting for someone to over-aggress, but no. Now, just going to hold off, go to cams, get that information through, let the rest of the team put on the carry pants and just help out where she can. For the moment, though, We are going to see things start to be opened up. Oh, ankle almost clipped there by Kotari. They see that there is footholds open. Serenity looking to contest. Not quite the cleanest. They haven't been able to make this work. Nitro Cell was committed. Nothing found by Serenity just yet. And, well, the cover is there from Burner Bear on the rappel. This is something that needs to be dealt with if they can't find it. Oh, feet spotted. Chloe punished. The feetsies, unfortunately, just giving away the game.
See, they've banned Jackal, but they're still getting those shots on the feet, and maybe the Jackal wasn't the issue here, really, for the ban of Team Skyfire, because look, it's an issue for them right now. Peepo does manage to find another nice shot. Holy smokes, Peepo, indeed. Finding that shot from that angle is definitely looking really good. Nobody even bothered to really contest that position. So
that is an insane angle. That's through the rotate, through the head holes in that wall. At least they can enable the exothermic chance so they can breach open. But it's again a case of, well, at least we got it. Serenity finds a kill onto Sporky. They're just whittling away at these numbers. Serenity 16 frags under the belt, looking to step up, looking to find anything. And well, they know where L is at the very least.
L is just like I was just stuck into that angle, just like, oh yeah, hi. Maybe I could find some dub.
Well, she then decides, I've been here too long, I'm leaving. And unfortunately not going to be able to play with that information. Not going to be able to find the free frag that they were on the hunt for. I gotta say, I love this new system with dead bodies. No more clutter. It's just the icon. It's see-through. You can look to play around it, but this rotate there, spots the back of one, but Serenity re-aggresses, catching her unawares too. Is able to survive. L prone. Going for the snake play is unfortunately going to be a trade in the end. 2 headshots, 1 each way, leaves Angle below with 4 seconds left to play. Trying to get in. The bench is there. Serenity picks up yet another frag as she gets closer and closer to the 20 bomb with a sliver of health, no less. Map point secured. Skyfire 1 away from closing out this night at 2-0.
There we go. Just like that, we finally get ourselves a few more streaks going. It is definitely now looking even closer to Skyfire's possible dub here, but look, yeah, that was still looking a little bit rough, to say the very least. Pardon me, but overall, gym bedroom is the next choice for ourselves. See what's up, see what we can do here. It's a chunker pick, which is actually fully locked in by Chloe. Is going to be a curious one, to say the very least. Not for the fact that he's a meme, he's meme no longer, actually more so of a king now, but it's been a while since we've actually seen a chunker pick, and oddly enough, I would imagine this is actually going to be picked instead of the smoke pick that is usually being brought on board, given the fact that the Shumicha launcher is now actually a very valid piece of utility to use.
Well, I mean, interestingly enough, it was being played by TSM, no less, in the North American League, with the SMG though, so not running the DP27, playing, this close quarters, still using the Shumicha launcher to lock things down, almost like a defensive Capitao more than anything.
Yeah.
10 seconds
but
left.
look, Skyfire map point here. They've got the castle set up. They've got the coverage.
5 seconds left.
Like Chloe, bit of the stage. They've still got time to work with. This is Skyfire, eggs in the basket, looking to. Oh, did Chloe find that drone? I think no. Okay, no, she didn't.
No.
It was the transition from prep to attack phase. I thought she'd just make that through the hatch. Peepo's icon. Okay, it was a bit bugged from the top-down view. I've not seen that operator before, but it's a cast.
Yeah. On the topic of the chunkers, it's weird. It's weird, yeah. It definitely is feeling a little bit funky. But on the topic of chunkers weapon pick, I feel it's like it's in a similar kind of way how you would pick, like, say, smoke with either shotgun or the FMG9. Do you want to be more frag heavy, or do you want more utility heavy? If you want more utility, you bring in the LMG because of the sheer destructive force. If you want more fragging ability, obviously you go for the SMG, the 9x19, sorry, the 8x9x8. It's whatever it is. Anyways, you go for SMG, and you get a little bit more stable, more consistent DPS rather than the DP26.
Well, I mean, it was played exclusively on Oregon's basement by Bolo, if I remember correctly. So it was a very situational pick. But first frag found, Serenity to take it. She's going to get Kortari and the 20 bomb here in map 2 of the night. Bernabet answers back with a kill on the Cats, but it's still a 4 versus 3. They've got CCTV, they've got top red as well. Shamika was committed. Chloe still playing in cash, does have that option to throw it deep into CCTV, try and catch out anyone. Bouncing in every possible way. Bernabet going to take some damage, has to pull back from the angle. Sporky trying to cover should there be a flank come into play. But there's only so much you can do. They don't have the hard breach to get themselves in. Angry Wolf is over by logistics. And yeah, look, the call has been made. Shamika towards top red stairs as well. Bernabet's just been cut off at every pass. And Serenity's on the hunt for the frag. Triple for her now, as she is just looking to mow down the remainder of Renz.
Yeah, look, this is definitely looking very dire here for Renz. The final round possibly here, and another swing. Serenity finally does get punished with a lack of HP, but that does leave Angry Wolf on just barely any health points herself. People looking for a swing. Chloe finds herself on Spooky, and now it's all down to Angry Wolf. 25-ish HP and a dream with 25 seconds to get 3 frags out of 5 already. And yeah, look, bit rough.
Well, and it's L, of course, to close it out. The Iron Sights MP7 Skyfire take the week 2-0. Renz just picking up the 1-1. So Skyfire propelling themselves closer towards that top of the scoreboard position. They want to keep themselves top 4 if they can, give themselves a shot at playoffs when it does come in. And well, with that, Skyfire, in fact, I believe, actually no, it depends on how the Viking game goes, but if Viking Army do not pick up, actually no, I think if they, it depends, actually no, sorry, yeah, it depends on how it goes, but I think coming down to the round of Rachel, Skyfire might just steal away second place here.
That would be huge. If they're able to do such thing, that would be a huge leap for them, given the fact how rough of the first week it was for them. They were able to only get a single win for themselves, I believe. And this time, finally, a 2-0 dub for themselves definitely worked out perfectly well, and they were able to make it work. But look, congrats to Skyfire. Unfortunate loss for Renz, although a very valiant effort, gotta say. Up until that 4-5 scoreline, they were essentially neck and neck against Skyfire, and they were able to keep on pressing them for each and every mistake. But the moment it seems like Skyfire found their rhythm, they figured out, hey, let's just, less of actual big brain plays, go for more swings, you get the dub, and get Saren to do it. There we go, I guess.
I mean, yeah, 21 frags before she was finally felled in the last round. But we'll take a look at how things have played out this week. So far, it's been an interesting one. I know for a fact, I had a look at the standings. Grumpy Grapes, 2-0 tonight, really propelling themselves towards that middle of the pack, looking to get themselves towards playoffs as well. 2-2 for them right now. Sitting in 4th. We don't know how that Viking Army match is played out, but if Viking Army lose, there's a good chance that we see Grumpy Grapes take 4th place.
Well, Viking Army just lost their game in round 2 to Fallen Angels 7-2. So it's definitely not looking too pretty for Viking Armies, given the fact that they, in round 1, absolutely got demolished 7-1, and Quacked managed to score themselves another 7-0 victory against Silex Angels this time. So an interesting turnout of the events. For Fallen Angels, they were able to also score only a single dub for themselves. So overall, I definitely am expecting a huge shift in the standings. And it's honestly been absolutely a pleasure watching some of these teams battling it out so far. Skyfire managing to push themselves really hard today. I mean, 5-7 scoreline in their favor, and then a 4-7 win against Renz definitely put them through their paces comparative to some of the other rosters. I mean, you look at Renz even before, when they played against Radical Rebels, it was a 7-3. Probably out of all of them, Quacked had probably the quickest run throughout the matches for this week.
Yeah, dropping a single round, they've had a pretty solid show of it. But I think with Fallen Angels, actually now working out my math, Fallen Angels picking up the win the way they did, they have taken out fourth place. Grumpy Grapes, they shoot from tied for last to fifth, so they are definitely in contention for playoffs coming into the end of the season. But some interesting matches. Viking Army suffering two big losses here tonight, going from second all the way down to sixth, I believe. That's a rough one.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Given the fact that it seems like they've put up quite a solid performance for themselves. Unfortunately, couldn't really ramp up much for themselves. Look, I mean, it seems like it's one of those just weeks where you're being dealt kind of um, a very rough deck of cards for tonight, and it definitely shown. So maybe in the next week we shall be seeing something different. But let's actually have a look at the standings, get ourselves familiarized with how week 2 at the end looks, and it's Quacked on the first, Skyfire yoinked away the second place, Wrens and Fallen Angels to follow suit on the points, and then Grumpy Grapes, like you said, 5th point, managed to skyrocket themselves pretty well.
Yeah, I think it would have been interesting. I think if Fallen Angels if it had gone to regulation time, I think the score, I think Grumpy Grapes may have been able to snake through and take fourth. But honestly, that's a rise that you want to see. Unfortunately, a significant fall from grace out of Viking Army. You hate to see it, but look, my math was on point. I kind of got it towards the end there. But Quack, they find themselves in a great spot. They're not totally untouchable going into next week, but I mean, that's where things will start to ramp up. Skyfire next week have Viking Army, and they then have to verse Silex. So we could see, depending on how the matches go next week, Quacked might be knocked out of first place even then.
Yeah, definitely. Look, now the race for the first place is on. Quacked definitely look like the next contenders for the first place. And look, Skyfire, Wrens looking to possibly contest for that even closer, really. All three of those rosters definitely looking very promising, very keen, although given the current outcome scores-wise, Quacked might just have that early, I suppose, skill gap for themselves to use to get that early advantage points-wise to be able to generate that buffer should they need it later on in the season. And from there on, it's down to really teams like Skyfire, like Wrens, even some teams like Grumpy Grapes to introduce some upsets to the bracket to see if maybe they can let the whole ladder just shuffle around.
Yeah, well, I mean, Grumpy Grapes, if they carry on that form that we saw from them tonight, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they can threaten top 3, even if not top 4. But that's rounds 3 and 4 done. Play day 2 here for the XP Esports Women's League has been completed. Going into week 3, that's where things are really going to start to heat up. We are going to see potentially Quacked break away from the pack if they can pick up some big wins. Skyfire might be overtaking, but we won't know until we get there. So next week, same time, same place. Make sure you are here for it. We'll see you then.
Enter into a new dimension of gaming and unlock your gaming experience. Powerful and portable. With uncompromised graphics performance, the way you play will never be the same.